Hello and welcome back to Blue Geek Reviews and the return of Blue Geek Watchers. As past Friday, as I mentioned in Thursday's update video, I went out to see the latest Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp. So I am now going to give you what I thought of the film. Uh, I absolutely enjoyed it. It so fun. I did enjoy the first Ant-Man film and Ant-Man's cameo in Captain America: Civil War. So I was really looking forward to this sequel, and it really didn't disappoint. Basically, there will be a spoiler tag on this video, so if you don't want to know exactly what happens in the film, then skip to the end of the video for my final rating. Well, basically, the film begins with a bit of a flashback to, excuse me, to 1987 when Dr. Pym, played once again by Michael Douglas, was the original Ant-Man. He and his wife played this time played for this film by Michelle Pfeiffer in a brilliant bit of CG de-aging, similar to how the had Carrie Fisher cameo at the end of Rogue One, and how they recreated Peter Cushing for that same film. So Pym and his wife Janet, the original Ant-Man and Wasp, they went on a mission to the quantum realm, and basically uh, basically they're trying to stop a nuclear missile, and Janet shrinks to even smaller than the size of a wasp to really get in, and she gets caught in the quantum realm. Hank believes she's died in the accident and is left to bring up Hope on their daughter Hope on his own. Flash forwards to modern times, and Hank and Hope are working on building a device to get them into the quantum realm to basically try and retrieve her. While this is going on, we find out what Scott Lang's been up to, the new Ant-Man, and basically Ant-Man's appearance in Civil War is the what sets the motion off for this film, as he is currently serving house arrest and have been for 2 years after getting arrested following the events of Civil War. And because of that, because he borrowed the suit without informing uh, Hank and Hope, they've cut ties completely with him. So Scott's serving his house arrest. He keeps getting bothered by the FBI when something triggers his alarm. Like at the start of the film, he's doing a bit of fun, scavenging with his daughter in a home built like ant tunnel and all that. And Michael Pena's character Luis is back, and we found out that while he's been on house arrest, Scott has set up business with Luis called imaginatively XCOM, sort of like a security, home security network. So this, anytime Scott's alarm triggers, it sends round the FBI agent Jimmy Woo to basically keep a watch on him and ensure he's not trying to escape. As the movie picks up, he's on the last days of um, his house arrest. So he's trying to do all he can to maintain this with the support of his daughter, his ex-wife, and her new partner. And so what Hank and Hope, they're trying to get a they're trying to get this tunnel built, and there's a strange moment where Scott is attempting to take a bath with his tag on. He's had to bag it up, and he excuse me, he falls asleep, and all of a sudden he picks up this message in his mind from Janet, because when Scott was somehow Scott and Janet are quantumly entangled, and he gets a vision through Janet of Hope as a young child, when they were Hope and Janet were playing hide and seek, and this prompts him to reach out to Hank and explain this uh, in a really funny moment. Um, thinking thinking after these phones, it might have all been nonsense. Scott breaks the phone and leaves it at that, and he's chilling out. He's in his robe, he's in pants, scruffy t-shirt, he's eating cereal, watching TV, and something buzzes round him. And he thinks nothing of it. Next minute, he feels something against his neck and passes out. When he wakes up, he's in the car with Hope, who's still pretty pissed at him for going off to be part of the Civil War, and she's disabled his tag and put it on a giant ant to act as a decoy to stop the FBI from trying to arrest them. So they're in the car. They're driving to the lab. And it turns out Hope has not only kidnapped them, but shrunk the car down. So they're driving along an open road, and they're basically the size of a bug. They get to the lab. Scott, while he's there, tries to apologise to Hank for taking the suit and getting himself involved. But he reiterates about the message, and that is basically where the main focus of the story is. the humor with with the sergeant that was in the first film is even better with this, because they've got a lead on the final part they need to build this tunnel, and they've struck a business deal to get it. And to do that, they get into a van, and it's so ridiculously funny. But they shrink the building that contains the lab down to the size of a pull-along suitcase. So it's basically a mobile office. So they go to do this business deal, um, and the one of the main villains of the film, a businessman by the name of Sonny Birch, is takes a shine to Hope and basically tries to offer her a position with them to help them set up this deal. She refuses, tries to take the money back because they won't hand over the piece she wants. And when he refuses that as well, she ends up getting into a fighting costume with Birch's heavies, and initially she begins to take them all out. But then this mysterious character, like a sort of flitters in and out like a ghost. She's wearing an all white suit with like a gas mask, sort of. And she takes Hope out and starts causing a few issues, which reluctantly prompts Hank to give Scott a updated suit to go and help. Oh yeah. So Scott and Hope and Hank are left confused about this, and the ghostly figure ends up taking the portable lab. Because of this, they go and track down an old colleague of Hank's, played by Lawrence Fishburne, mostly famous for being in the Matrix films. And it transpires later on that um, Lawrence Fishburne's character, Dr. Foster, has set them up by telling them where the lab's located, as we found out that the ghost figure is a girl called Ava, whose father was another colleague of Hank's back when they were working in S.H.I.E.L.D., um, who was killed along with his wife in a quantum experiment gone wrong, and it's left Ava's body structure in a sort of unstable, ghostly-like state. And it's the link to Janet is the quantum energy surrounding where Janet's located is what Dr. Foster needs to help out, try and restore Hope back to a normal state, which is why he had to kidnap the kidnap the three main characters and steal the lab. They do manage to get away initially by doing a nice little fake out where Hank fakes having a heart attack, which allows a couple of the ant workers to free Scott and Hope to basically get Hank out of harm's way and to get one up on Ava. They managed to tap in to Scott's mind and eventually get um, the location where Janet is actually still alive. It goes on. Birch is still wanting them, and using the aid of his heavies, using truth serum, which is not a truth serum. You'll get that joke if you see the film. They get where the lab's located from Luis, and he tips off the FBI that they're there trying to arrange this. But because Scott had told Luis where they were, and because he needed to sort out a contract for his business, this causes another fallout with Pim and Hope, and Scott has to rush away to make sure he doesn't get caught breaching his house arrest. Unfortunately, Hank and Janet get taken in, or with the aid of his telepathy with the ants, he managed to get them free, get them disguises to make their escape, and they finally get back to the lab. They're able to start up the tunnel, and while Scott and Hope are taking the fight to Ava, and the ant workers have got Foster held to rights, Hank dons an old suit and takes the ship that they built to go into into the realm using the coordinates that Scott tapped into, and he finds Janet alive and well. They get free. They eventually get back through the portal during the middle of a fight between Scott, Hope, and Ava, where Scott grows in size, manages to sweep away Hope out of harm's way. Using her quantum energy that she built up, Janet is able to restore Hope to a normal state. The but while Hank's trying to get Janet away, while this is going on, we get a lot of fighting between it's like a three-way battle between Ava, Berchand's goons, and Scott, Hope, and Luis. who are trying to retrieve the portable lab. They end up down a marine. Birch gets away, or so he thinks, in the boat. And again, SARS comes into play during this fight scene. It's so funny. Among the things you see in it is Scott's suit malfunctions, and he is mid size, so he's not quite Giant Man, but he's not normal size. He's sort of like middleish height, and he actually uses a dump truck as a sort of skateboard in one part of the fight scene, and another one. Luis is being eaten from a Hello Kitty Pez dispenser, which Hope tells him to throw out of the window, and she actually makes it grow, which causes a blockade to allow them to get away. But they're down at this pier. Birch has got away with the lab, or so he thinks, onto a boat, and Scott goes into the sea, and he goes to his largest height ever, in his giant man mode. Takes the the lab back, but because the high altitude and the sort of functioning that makes him Giant Man, he ends up passing out from it and sinks to the bottom of the sea. Hope manages to revive him, get him back on land, and we finally see them embrace for the first time since they're reunited. So once Steve managed to get back to the lab, get Avery cured, at least temporarily, Scott faces a race against time to get back to back to his residence, because the FBI have seen that Giant Man's reappeared, or Ant-Man's Giant Man reappeared, and Detective Wu thinks finally got him. But they do a clever little swerve in which the Giant Man suit is propped against the wall, but Wu was trying to drop it down, and it turns out Scott's not inside the suit. The suit is just being inflated and left propped there while Scott gets away. So they get back to the residence. The decoy is still there. There's a really funny scene while Scott's trying to get back. His ex-wife, her partner, and Scott's daughter turn up, and Scott's daughter sees the decoy in the bathtub, and she's trying to distract him to the point where Scott can reappear, citing being ill. Realising reluctantly that Scott was there the whole time, he's finally released from house arrest. So happy ending there. He's finally free to wear his business resume his relationship with Hope and be able to be free to do whatever he wants with his daughter. Which leads to the final funny scene of the film where Hope, Scott, and Scott's daughter are at what we're led to believe is a driving movie, which, in a funny turn of events, there's a moth that lands on the windshield, a massive one, and you're thinking, why is there must be a mad giant moth invasion or something. But no, as it turns out, they've lined up all the Hot Wheels cards that they grow when they need a vehicle and shrunk down back down one vehicle, and the driving is actually a piece of a garden with the screen being a laptop, and they're actually watching the 1954 sci-fi movie Them about giant killer ants. So film ends there. The credit sequence is brilliant because it recreates all the main scenes of the film, but done action figure style, with a lot of the, I'm assuming the Marvel Legends figures, maybe the basic action figures, but it's really good how they created all the scenes using the figures and models, and that leads into the big spoiler, which is of course the credit sequence, which is a staple of all Marvel films. There's actually two in this film. The one that pops up at the very end after all the credits are rolled is inconsequential. It's basically the decoy ant playing the drums to add a bit of humour. But the main one, the mid-credit scene, is where the movie ties in to Infinity War. Now, if you don't want to know this, apologies. If you don't want to know what this scene is, you want to see for yourself, skip forward a bit for my final thoughts. Well, basically, Hope, Janet, Hank are all powering up uh, a micro tunnel at the back of Scott's work van, and Scott is suited up because he is about to go into the quantum realm to jar up some of the quantum energy for them to continue to help Ava, and he collects it, and he's waiting for them to pull him out, and his communication line to them goes dead, and he's starting to think, are they winding me up? He's trying to reach them, and as it turns out, all three were victims of Thanos' snap, so they all disintegrate. So that is how Ant-Man is going to play a major part in Avengers 4, which comes out next summer, because it's his quest to get the in-laws back and to get the woman he loves back, as well as help the remaining Avengers and Guardians to take down Thanos for good. So that is it. That is Ant-Man and the Wasp. As I said, I absolutely loved it. It's sort of on the higher scale of my favourite MCU films, my final grade for it, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's still a little bit flawed in parts, but overall is an enjoyable film. Highly recommended. Um, uh, Basically, this whole phase 3 of the MCU has been a brilliant watch. Of course, there's only two more films left in it, which are Captain Marvel, which comes out in February, I believe. And then, of course, next May, June is when Phase 3 comes to an end with Avengers 4. And that'll be the final call for the initial core cast of the MCU, which are the original Avengers, Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, Hawkeye, who will be in Avengers 4, Thor, Hulk, Nick Fury, and so forth. So that is it. That has been my review of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen the film, what you thought of it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Go back and watch all my other content. And that is it for now. This has been Blue Geek Watchers on the Blue Geek Review channel. I've been the Blue Geek. Take care.